Hey guys, how's it going? Onach here, and welcome to round 12 of the 2016 Formula SimRacing World Championship highlights. These are my personal highlights from round 12, which took place at Singapore. Always a very long and tough race, I think, for most of the drivers, if not the whole grid. Unless you DNF, obviously, in the first couple of laps. However, we're currently in qualifying, and after the success of Monza, where we took a victory, I was reasonably confident for Singapore. I was quite confident for qualifying, maybe a little bit less in the race, but still I thought we could do relatively well. A top 3 was definitely my target coming into this weekend, and if we can make a top 3 work here, then I think we'll put ourselves in a reasonably nice position to clinch the Drivers' Championship. Kuba is present as well, our teammate obviously, so we'll see how he gets on, as the constructors is also very important for us to take home at the end of the season. I think this was round 12, which meant there were 5 more rounds to go, including this one. So, including this one, there are 5 more rounds to go. As you are currently on my qualifying hotline, by the way. The reason why the video is a little bit later than normal, in fact I have already driven the next Grand Prix, which is Japan, after this one. The reason that it's a little bit late, I was a little bit busy, and honestly this is going to be, as I touched the barrier there, this is going to be one of the more longer videos of the whole season, I think, because there is a lot of action in this race. So it was very complicated for me to actually pick out the highlights, because there were so many things where I could pick from. While at the same time trying to keep the video a little bit short. That hasn't really worked out, because the video is over 50 minutes long. So I would like to apologize for that, but I didn't really feel like anything could be missed out. So that's the reason why it is uploaded a little bit later than normal, and also the reason why it is such a lengthy video. On the qualifying lap then, I wasn't completely happy with this lap, to be honest. I think I had a brush with the barrier there as well. The qualifying was very sloppy for me. I couldn't get a lap together. I did do that at Monza. In Monza the quali was quite good for me. But for some reason here, I was basically half a second off my personal best. And that is way too much, coming around the final corner, even sliding there. And we did a 1:41.6, half a second slower than my PB, and that is too much, way too much. So I wasn't really happy, obviously, with this qualifying session.
That was a very poor qualifying by me. That was so bad by me. And then the final lap, the first sector, was pretty damn good, and then I fucked it in the middle.
Yeah, you can hear a bit frustration there. My first sector was the best I ever did, and that was on my final lap, so I thought, like, here we go, this is the time to improve. Simultaneously getting pole then with 1:41.444. I definitely could have been underneath that, I am totally sure of that. In fact, I was able to do a 0.3 in practice relatively easily, but that doesn't count, you know. If you can do it on the race day, then it means absolutely nothing, and that's what happened today.
So it's Patel and Simonchich ahead, Hoyer and Kostadinov behind.
Kostadinov has done a good job then.
And actually, considering I'm starting third, that qualification could have gone a lot worse. But you know, at the same time, the way I look at it, it could have gone a lot better. A lot better, more than worse, so to say. But you know, that's the way it is. We'll have a look at the championship standings, which are on your screen right now. Obviously, with the win at Monza, we took a little bit of a step ahead compared to Paris. There's a little bit of a gap. 160 points for us, 124 for him. Kuba is still in third. He is right there on your screen. I think he starts from 8th, if I'm correct, but I'm not entirely sure on that one. So it's looking good for the Drivers' Championship. However, still plenty of races to go. And if you, for example, DNF in Singapore this race, and Paris scores quite a few points, or Kuba for that matter, then the gap is obviously quite a bit closer. Pit strategy, 4-stop. This track is completely different, so to say, from any of the previous tracks we have seen on the calendar, because right here, this track is a rear limited track. It's not a front limited track. So basically, towards the end of your stint, towards the end of your stint, excuse me, instead of getting understeer, you get a bunch of wheel spin and oversteer the whole time because the rears were a lot more than the fronts. And then additionally, the rears give up, or they have a drop off at around 62 there-ish tire wear or tire life left in them. So when the rears are at 62% tire life left in them, they start to become quite tricky to handle, whereas the fronts, they start to drop off at around 51. Let's put it like that. So the rears are quite worse in order to control the car while the tires are worn, and the drop off kicks in even quicker than it would be on the front end of the track. So that's where the fourth stop comes from. Towards the end of your stints, basically, if you don't manage your tires, you're gonna have a problem, because it will basically be like driving on ice. It's as simple as that. There wasn't a lot of grip on this track in combination with these tires, the soft and medium compound. And I think if they even went for a super soft compounds, then, you know.
Okay, good luck.
Yep, you too. Keep it clean.
Yep, let's think about the championship exactly.
Yep.
I think with those two compounds, it even could have been like a 5 or a 6 stop. Anyway, lights out and away we go. Lap 1 is on the way of the race, and it seems like we have not really a special start. Mitchie Warrior, in fact, has a better start than us. A little bit of contact even made, as there was a bit of a miscommunication between the two. However, we are good coming into turn 1. I swept around the outside of Warrior in order to make sure we stayed in third at least. So behind Mohammed Patel, after a reasonably, wasn't really an okay start, even was a pretty poor start, but somehow we still kept our car in P3. Simotic leading then, so no position changes in the entire top 5 as far as I'm concerned. Maybe even the top 6, because I think Brilek is in 6. Yes, he has to be in 6, and Daniel Kiss is 7th. You can see in the background Kiss is actually fighting with our teammate Kuba. So that's a battle which is going on behind. Obviously, the more points we can score, Kuba and I, the better it is for the championship, especially the constructors championship. Obviously, that's also a very big target for us to clinch that one home, so to say. So 61 laps.
Feel free to use boost as much as you need to. Fuel is not a concern for this first stint.
Yeah, fuel is not a concern for this stint, is what Justin says there. Lap 1 out of 61, a very long race it is. It really is a long race, and you'll see it in this video as well. Towards the, already like halfway through the race, I'm already starting to struggle a little bit, because it is so exhausting, to be honest. It really is exhausting. For me personally, although I wouldn't really like to go that way, because I think it are silly excuses which you shouldn't really use, but most of these guys will have something like a Thrustmaster wheel or a Fanatec, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm the only driver who has an OSW wheel, which is quite an expensive wheel, delivers a lot of force, really lots of force. And you have to put quite a bit of effort into steering and all that, and that takes its toll a little bit at the end of a race. Usually it's not bad, but for Singapore, for some reason, it was quite tough. Replay of the start then. Here we go, looking from Simotic's point of view. Mitchie Warrior having the better run on us. There was a little bit of contact made. I guess I just didn't really look in my mirror, and Mitchie wasn't bothered about it either. So we had a bit of wheel banging, but I think both didn't have any issues, and we escaped from that without any damage, which is good, obviously. Lap 5 of this race then. That was Brilek, I think, making a touch with the wall, brushing it, and we are halfway through the stint.
Tire wear is identical to simulation.
Patel has got some awesome traction in that car.
Yeah, we are halfway through the stint. Tire wear is on target with the simulation. That means we can pit around lap 10 or 11. Excuse me. Our target was to pit in 11, I think, but track position is absolute key around this track. It is very hard to overtake. So before the race started, we basically told each other, if we have to defend from an undercut, we just have to do it. Simple as that, because track position is, in our opinion, absolutely vital here. There were a few drivers who ran a different strategy behind us. They were, for example, on the prime tire, whereas we are on the option. So we'll see how that pans out. And I said as well, Mohammed Patel has epic traction, something like that I said. And that is something I really noticed, especially in its final sector here, where we are at right now. Every single time Patel had a very clean run on the exits of corners, and it was also very noticeable. You'll notice it throughout the entire race, in my opinion. Even it was very noticeable after the bridge. You have a bridge and then you have the very tight hairpin at the end of the second sector. If I can spot it, I'll tell you. More team radio.
How are the tires? Patel was starting to struggle.
They're perfect, the same as simulation. Your rear right is actually 1% better than simulation. If Mitchie pits this lap, we're pitting next lap. Stay out for now. Mitchie pit this lap, Softs.
Yeah, so that was previous lap, the radio messages you have heard there. Mitchie has pit, so we will be pitting in lap 9 already. We could have gone lap 10, I said it before, but lap 11, but lap 10, we could have gone lap 11, like that. In lap 10 we could also have stopped, but because Mitchie has pitted so early, again, we feel like the need to respond. Here's what I mean, look at that. Every single lap basically, it wasn't really that noticeable there because Patel is struggling on his tires. Like I said, I felt like I saved my tires more than Patel did for the end of the stint, because Patel is struggling more now than I do, in my opinion. That's what I noticed at least. So that is good. I know basically right now that I'm stronger at the end of a stint, and that is good news. We'll be pitting though again to defend from the undercut, which Hoyer is going to get regardless. Hopefully we can still exit in front of him, but it wouldn't surprise me if we can't, because the undercut is quite strong. Patel comes into the pit lane as well. Simčić stays out, so Simčić doing an awesome job at the moment, and yeah, I couldn't do anything about Patel. Again, overtaking is relatively hard around this track. We have entered the pit lane though, and luckily Patel and I don't share a pit box. That's something which can happen in our factor too, but wasn't the case luckily. So let's listen to some more team radio.
It's going to be busy at the pit exit.
Okay, so that's not really a good sign. On the left hand side is Mitchie Hoyer. Let's see where we exit in comparison to him. It is actually, look at that, behind him. So Hoyer has made the undercut work and is now in a battle with Patel. So lap 10 of the race, we have pitted a lap earlier than we would have liked, but hey, that's the way it is. And Hoyer and Patel are battling massively. Let's see if we can take some kind of advantage while these two are battling. We know that Hoyer has already jumped us, so we have lost position. I would like to take the position back. We're almost 3 wide going into this left-hander, and then I have to leave the track. And you think, wait, why did you have to leave the track there? You couldn't really make it out from that camera point of view, but I basically knew that we were gonna enter that corner 3 wide, and I knew that I had to look into my mirrors because something could happen between Patel and Hoyer, and maybe one of those two would have collected me then as well. So you needed a little bit of spatial awareness to avoid a collision there. And indeed, Patel and Hoyer made contact. We have a look at the replay here. So this is the pit exit, obviously. Right hand side you can see a lot of cars passing by. That is going to be tricky because we're in a lot of traffic now, because those guys ahead are on the prime tire, I believe, most of them. So they run a different strategy and will be pitting in a few laps time. So we'll be held up by them. It's looking good for Simčić, to be honest, this race so far. Here we go then. Hoyer being quite aggressive straight away on Patel. And going for the inside of the right-hander coming onto this straight. Here we go then. So Patel fends off the inside. I'm around the outside.
Contact, watch out on your left. You're good. Mitchie's spun.
Saw it coming.
I saw it coming. I said before I had to look in my mirrors. There was still a little bit of a buffer. Look at that. There was plenty of room even. I think I could have even made the corner, but I didn't really want to gamble. As soon as I saw them making contact, and Justin also said it live on team radio, which you could hear, I decided to just go straight on and try to avoid a collision.
Okay, traffic ahead of Patel. Obviously, you can see it. This might be a good time to fuel save.
And tires as well, tire saving?
Yep. Tires were very good though in the first stint.
Who's behind me now?
Car behind is Mitchie. He recovered quickly. I don't think he has damage.
Right, so I wasn't exactly sure who was behind me then, but it is Mitchie. Like Justin said, he has recovered quite quickly. There we see Peter Burwiak exiting the pit lane. Peter Burwiak, who was the world champion last year, so in the 2015 season. Mohammed Patel quite close on the back of Partington.
That's Partington ahead of Patel. He's on the mediums.
There we go, Justin saying it as well. And can Mohammed Patel pass Partington then? This will be such a crucial stage of the race. They make contact. Can I capitalize? Can I capitalize? He defends the inside. He knows I'll go for the inside there if I had the opportunity, so he defended it. But that means I have to swing it around the outside, and that will become the inside line for the next corner. And there we go. So that is effectively a place gained on Mohammed Patel. Very opportunistic driving, but now it is our turn to get by Partington, at least try to get by Mike Partington. Here we see it, Partington, Valeriano and Victor Ivanov up ahead. They are all on the prime tire.
If we can clear him here, we'll build a gap to Patel.
I think so.
Yes.
Yep, some more team radio there, live team radio even. Justin saying yes, as soon as he saw I had the good exit around the outside here. I will have the tire grip obviously, so I tried to do it. Not a lot of room being given there, very close to hitting the barrier or Mike Partington's car for that sake. Partington dives back on the inside though, really aggressive driving from him, but obviously he has the right to do so. Side by side into here, ooh, squeeze your butts together. But around the outside we take him, and then there's a bit of contact there. Partington just turning in on me. I mean, you know, what the hell. But okay, that was place gained, and up to 5th place. Victor Ivanov ahead pit, so was he on option then? I think he may have been. Yes, so Ivanov was on option. Valeriano ahead is on prime though, so that's for sure. And here we see Hoyer. Can he capitalize as well and take the place away from Partington? No, not yet. So Partington defends that. And in the meantime, Patel also jumped Partington straight away basically when we did.
Valeriano ahead of you. He's on mediums.
So now Valeriano ahead. I think we are up to 4th at this stage. So Valeriano is in 3rd. We're still effectively in 2nd because Paris is the Simocic, there we go, is the race leader, and a clean move on Valeriano.
Disley ahead. He's on mediums. 48.6 last lap.
Next target, Disley, as Valeriano lets Mohammed Patel through. They are they teammates? No, they aren't really. Oh, there's some contact. Mitchie Hoyer and Mike Partington making contact. And yeah, well, clear who was at fault there. Partington just rams Hoyer from behind. And Hoyer, unfortunately for him, spins. Here we have a look at the replay then. So this is from a while back. This is Mohammed Patel against Partington. Here we go then. So Patel on the inside. I had to brake very late here in order to get around the outside, which I did so. And then you know at this stage you're good. Because the next corner we were on the inside for that one. And then here Partington on his old tires just had a poor exit. And I was pretty surprised, to be honest, by how hard Partington was still fighting for this place. Not a lot of room being given here, but just about enough, so that is obviously good. And then here Partington, yeah, you could call it a little dive bomb, I guess. Yeah, I'm fine with that. But he had the right to do so, of course. He tries it on the inside here as well, and maybe that was a move which could have ended in tears. That was quite a risk. We both took it, to be honest. Partington because he took quite a bit of speed into the corner, but left enough space. And from us then to swing around the outside there, because that is not very usual. But okay, Partington left enough space, so fair enough. And here, I don't know why he turns in like that. I don't know. Yeah, I have no comment really for that. If there's a car alongside you over there, how can you turn into the corner and then make contact? I don't get that. But okay, that's maybe me. Obviously, it isn't heavy or anything like that, but still, you know, why would you turn in? I don't know. Whatever. So here we see it one more time from the helicam. Look at Patel as well, by the way. Patel, I talked to him after the race, and he said at this stage of the race, with all the traffic, he just knew he had to slice his way through the traffic as quick as possible as soon as we passed someone, because if he didn't do that, he would probably lose touch with us, and that's something he obviously doesn't want. So skipping to lap 18, we're again getting towards the end of our stint, as we had a bit of an oversteer moment there. That was quite close to losing the car on the curb, and this was a sign for all of us that the tires were again starting to wear a little bit on the edge of the curb, so to say. And if you then apply a little bit too much power, you get a kick of oversteer, being nicely shown there in the slow motion. It was a sign though for Justin to come onto the radio, because straight away after I did that, he talked on the radio and had some information regarding the pit stop. This is the gap Simocic has got already, by the way.
Patel behind still. Next car is Journey. He's on 1 lap fresher tires. Our tires are a little bit worse than they should be. We still have some spare fuel. If you want to try to break away from Patel, you can, using some fuel.
I have the feeling I'm destroying my tires and I don't like it, so keep me updated.
Yep. Tires are 2% worse than where it should be 2%. This is 18. We can stop next lap if we have to. We want to try and do one more though. Okay, stop. Come into the pits next time by. We have a good gap.
So we'll be boxing this lap. We have a good gap, is what Justin has said. This is the order. Simultic leads. We are in second. Behind us is still Patel. Obviously, it is crucial though that we have taken that position during that. During those battles with all the traffic, because now we are in second. We know it's hard to overtake around this track. Patel has actually fallen back a little bit. I don't know if he still has DRS.
Box this lap, right?
Yes.
Yep. Soft?
Yes.
So that's where we confirm the pit stop. And behind him is Peter Briljak, who is definitely a force to take into consideration for the rest of this race. There are still 42 laps to go, and we'll be pitting now already. So for our second stop.
This is the 10th lap of this stint. I want to try and do 11 next stint.
Okay, so we've done 9 in the first one, 10 in this stint, and 11 for the next one. Obviously, there is more rubber on the track, and the fuel becomes less. We burn away quite a bit of fuel during the race. We can start with 145 liters, and we end, if you do it right, with about 1 liter. Anyhow, we'll be coming into the pit lane, and obviously what I wanted to say, the less fuel you run, the better it is for the tires usually. Peter Briljak continues, like he did in the first stint, where he also went a little bit longer. So again, don't count Peter Briljak out at all.
Briljak continues on. Patel pits behind you. Again, we need 11 laps from this stint. 11 laps this stint. Should have a good gap of clear air ahead of you.
And you can see here that we have split strategies. We come out in P7. Patel behind us is on the medium tire though. He has gone for the prime tire.
Next car though is Manusakis. Caution.
Next car is Manusakis, and Justin says caution. Now why does he say caution? Manusakis is Paris' teammate.
The 4 cars ahead of you are all on mediums. One of the cars ahead of you pit, so now it's just 3 prime runners in front of you. Briljak is fighting Patel behind you. Gap behind now 2 seconds.
So a lot of information being thrown at us here. Cars in front. Kuba, you can see it in the distance, is leading this train. Manusakis is in front of us. Again, Paris is his teammate. Probably won't make it easy for us, because Paris is our main rival in the Drivers' Championship. So we know that, if he can, he will make life difficult for us. All 3 runners ahead are on prime. We're currently in P5, I believe. And this is good for Patel.
Fuel is marginal, but tires are more important. The car leading this pack of 3 is Kuba. He will let you through if you catch him. He will let you through.
He can fight if he wants to.
He's on a different strategy. He's on very worn primes, same as the other 2 cars ahead of you.
Yeah, and the thing is, Manusakis and the car ahead of him, is that Paris? Would that be Paris? I think it is Paris. Yeah, I think it's Paris ahead of Manusakis. Paris, I haven't talked a lot about him by the way, I should have done that to be honest. Paris has DRS, Manusakis has DRS, and I have DRS. It neutralizes the effect I have.
Gap behind 1.6.
And it is...
Yep.
It is very, very hard to make a pass, because despite me being on the fresher tires and on a different compound, the softer compound, it is really hard to make a move, because the overtaking it's so tough to do here. We go for it now though, side by side with Manusakis, and he indeed doesn't make life easy. In fact, wheel banging, and Patel, look in the mirrors, Patel can immediately follow, so not great news, because Patel can straight away follow, and he is still connected to us again. So he has got the upper hand now, because he is on the prime tire as well. We are effectively giving away a free set of soft tires. So whether it was the right call or not, I don't know. Probably not, because Patel is able to keep up with us despite being on the slower compound because of the traffic we have got. This was quite an opportunistic move. It all started in the hairpin, to be honest, where I took quite an aggressive line. I was never going to fully put it up the inside there, because it is an unrealistic move to do that, because there's such a high risk. The guy ahead of you doesn't see you and just turns in on you. However, I braked a little bit later than him, so just enough that he would think that I went up the inside and would leave a little bit of space, and therefore compromise his exit, or would compromise his exit. Here we see a bit of contact made. I have no idea what I could have done differently there. For some reason, I believe that the Medcape team boss thought it was a little bit of my fault, but
Next car's
you have to be
Paresis.
blind to think that.
Tire life is good. Tire life is good. Keep it up.
I'm trying my best. It's not easy though.
Doing great. Doing great.
Yeah, it's not easy, because how are you going to get past these guys? SimRacing in the meantime is long gone from my thinking process, from my brain. I don't care about him at all. He is so far up ahead, it's not realistic even. There is another big battle falling out here, because look at this around the outside. No. And look at Patel now. Look at Patel having a good run. I think he may go for it. I see it too late. And so Patel will be on the inside. I tried to do it around the outside. We're still side by side. No contact made. And the chicane. No way you can go side by side through there. Unless your name is Mohamed Patel and you leave enough room, which he always does, or usually does. Still side by side. Will we have him? I think we had the better run because we had the outside line. And we have the inside line for the next corner. We will have him, but it is very, very close. What a great battle we are seeing here. Great action. I thought I could make a move on Paresis, which I did, around the outside over here. And then I ran perhaps a little bit too wide, and I took the inside line here to the front from Patel, similarly to what Patel did to us before. And then here I was asleep. Simple as that. I was too busy trying to look at the front. And Patel was behind us, gets a good run, and that is the time I looked in my mirror, but it was too late there. So I looked too late into my mirror. Patel was almost already alongside when I looked at it, and this, I have no clue how this went without any contact. Even here there was no contact. So props to Patel. Absolutely props to Patel. Brojak in the background also tried to add a little sniff, and here we see it. A little bit of a moment, you could see it there on the entry. Which made that move fail. I don't know if I even could have made it stick, to be honest, if I didn't have that moment, but whatever. And then here side by side again, just yeah, I don't know. Patel went a little bit deeper into the hairpin than I thought. Here we see it. There was a little bit of a step with the wheel. Otherwise we would have made a bit of contact most likely, but man oh man, it's never boring, so to say, to battle Patel. Always a guy who is 99% fair, or of the 99% of the times fair, races very, very hard, and stays within the rule books. Sometimes he pushes the rule books to its maximum, but it never really is enough, in my opinion, to be protested, at least not at that point so far yet. So yeah, props to him. And there you see Brojak, yeah, he couldn't really do much there. There were two cars already side by side. One more look, because why not? Some fantastic shots of that battle. Kuba in the meantime leads this whole pack, and no contact made at all again between the two of us. So good to see, very good to see. And we kept the position, so it was a hard battle, but crucial as well, because we are still ahead of Patel. But when are we finally gonna get able to get by this guy? This Paresis guy just doesn't want to give up, and why would he? Of course he doesn't want to give up. Very fast driver, of course, very fair driver. But how are you gonna get by him? Maybe this time around with a dive bomb? Nope. But there's a bit of contact made even. So we have to give up on that. But in the meantime it opens up an opportunity for Patel. He's around the outside here again. We're side by side. He'll have the inside line similar to what we had on him before. No though. Okay, I would have thought that he perhaps could have taken the position then. But he couldn't. We kept it around the outside. So basically every time I try to attack Paresis, it's Patel who's straight away knocking on the door. And I believe that is Patel's strategy as well, which would be the best strategy for him. I guess if I was in his position I would have done the same, to be honest. You have to drive very, very opportunistic, similarly to how we made the overtake stick on him in the start of the second stint. But fact is, our third stint here is being completely ruined by by Paresis. I keep messing those two up. And that is only a compliment to Paris that he is able to do that on worn tires. This time though, we are again really close, and Patel is also very close, so we're gonna go side by side again into turn 3. Still side by side as Paris has the outside line, we have the inside, and we seem to be able to make it stick. However, Paris is still on the inside. We're almost 4 wide. There is another battle behind between Patel and Brilliac. We keep or stay in front. That is good. Bit of contact being made behind us, which is rather interesting on the exit of the corner, but Patel can make it stick. So Patel again immediately capitalizing, and so does Brilliac. So Brilliac in fact is in a really good position. Having said that as well, again, overtaking is quite hard on this track, so even though Brilliac has the fresh tires, it's not easy. There was a little bit of a moment here where, yeah, it got close, and that is right here. I had a little bit of a moment there. It seems like such a tiny moment when you look at it on the replays, but when you're actually driving it in real time...
that was scary through that kink.
Yeah, see, that was scary through that kink. In real time, when you're actually driving your car at this point, it seems like a massive moment because you're going 300 kilometers an hour. And yeah, you have a little bit of a moment there. See, it even looks a really tiny moment from Patel's on board. But yeah, please trust me when I do say that it's quite a bit of a moment. Here, I didn't pay attention, by the way. That was poor spatial awareness by me. I probably didn't even notice Patel being effectively alongside. Look at it from the helicam. Right there. Patel has his front wing alongside, but I don't think I left really room. I almost squeezed him into the barrier even because, again, I was too focused on getting Paris's and not paying attention to my mirrors. One more look at it. Here we go. Pay attention to Brilliac as well. Brilliac very opportunistic. Inside line on Paris's. That is a straightforward move. Having said that, Paris's fights back very, very well. On the inside here, we have to go around the outside. And
okay, this is lap 27. This is lap 27. Car ahead is Kuba. We're stopping on lap 30 for the mediums. Lap 30. Kuba will pit this lap. Kuba will pit this lap.
So with Kuba into the pit lane, it has played out perfectly for Patel. They have come with the right strategy. Same for Kiss, who we see here, and for Brilliac. They have all gone to the medium tire, whereas we were on the soft, and it basically did nothing for us. It didn't bring an advantage, really.
This is lap 28. We can stop next lap. We can stop next lap, but it means a 16-lap stint.
30.
Okay.
Do you think I did anything illegal during the battle?
No.
Yep, that's usually what I do. If I have a battle or a big battle or a period with big battles or a very long period with big battles, I always ask on the radio to Justin whether, you know, what his opinion is on all the battles. Did I do anything wrong, illegal? That's something I would like to know.
Patel behind is on mediums, just so you know. This is lap 30. We put this lap onto the mediums.
Yeah, so we go on to the mediums this lap. The positive thing of being on soft now is that we are sure we'll get an undercut on Patel, who most likely is going to pit in a few laps time, I assume. I'm not entirely sure, but that's what seems most, makes most sense to me. And it's lap 30, and with all that battling and whatnot, as we touch the barrier, we have touched the barrier. Mistake there on worn tires. Can Patel immediately capitalize? The answer is yes. So a mistake by me means that Patel takes second place from us. We'll be pitting this lap either way, so again we'll most likely get the undercut and perhaps get that place back, but still it is not ideal at all. And now Brilliac is behind, who has got even fresher tires, and you can see we're just struggling on these soft tires. Basically at the point where Kuba went into the pit lane and we had clean air, it didn't matter anymore because the crossover point of the options and primes was already gone, basically. So we already passed that. Basically at the moment Kuba went into the pit lane, I think the primes were already the better tire than the softs, than the options, so to say. You will see it from Patel. I just took too much speed into the corner. No weird excuses. Was a driver error, too much speed into the corner, rear end started to slide, which again makes sense because the rear tires were more than the fronts, and because you took overspeed as well, you have the rear end sliding and you touched the barrier. Luckily I had no suspension damage, at least I don't think so. And so we enter the pit lane then as planned. Lap 30 will be on the mediums now.
Okay, 15 lap stint. 15 lap stint.
So, yeah, that stint wasn't ideal, was it? I mean, again, we effectively threw away a set of soft tires. It isn't really that big of a problem, I don't think. At least, let me think. Yeah, maybe it is. It depends on what Bruek and Patel are going to do.
It's Kuba ahead. Paresis behind. Paresis behind.
This is Paresis, who's right behind us. Kuba is ahead of us, so we've again emerged almost in that battle. This time though in front of Paresis, and that could prove a huge difference, because if we were behind Paresis, we may have as well ended up behind Patel in the train with Bruek.
Paresis stopped 3 laps earlier than you, 3 laps earlier. We need to manage these tires. Boost only on the main straight.
And this was quite a tricky situation we were in, and basically we put ourselves into this situation, I guess. We skipped to the end of, the start of 32, and Patel emerges in front of us. Now you do have a problem, basically. So fantastic couple of laps from Patel has meant that he is still ahead of us. Good in lap from him most likely as well, while we were behind Kuba. And again, Kuba would let us through though if we were close enough. Ooh, and there Patel squeezes us off a little bit. That's the way I felt like it, and I was not happy with that at all. I tried to immediately take the position back from Patel, and yeah, I thought I was clearly alongside.
Okay, we'll protest him. That's not fair.
Yeah, and then immediately, obviously, I start crying about it, because what the hell has happened there? I got pushed off and whatnot. I said it in Monza, I think, as well. This is something I really don't like from a driver's point of view, with looking or having a mirror in front of you and then looking at yourself, because basically immediately I'm on the team radio crying again and whatnot. Well, at the end of a race, you think like, oh well, whatever. And look how close it was, by the way, between us here. Maybe I should have given him a puncture there. No, kidding, of course. But yeah, I really felt like Patel left not enough room there. I thought I could go around the outside. I thought I had the speed as well to actually stay on the track. The track is, as Patel I think will make a move on Kuba, the track limits are defined by the curbs as well. So you can have 2 wheels on the curbs and it will still be fine. So I was technically driving on the track as Kuba, yeah, lets us go. So that is nice from him, of course, but again, he was on a different strategy.
Appreciate it.
There you say it as well, appreciate it, so thank you to Kuba. And that means we can chase Patel again, but again, at the time I wasn't really happy, and I can see why I wasn't happy, because even when I look at the replay, yeah, Patel was a bit to blame for it, I think. I think he could have left room, because we were definitely alongside. I think even after the race he admitted it himself to, or something like that. Maybe I'm talking total crap, but I think he said that. I'm not entirely sure. Doesn't matter. It happened. Wait. This is Bruek. This is Bruek, who has somehow managed a beautiful overcut. He has overcut us.
Who's in front of Patel?
Bruek.
Fair play to him.
Fair play to him. Yep. Bruek has overcut us. It is absolutely magical how he has done that. While he was on worn tires, he was actually lapping faster than us, most likely. Having said that, he did have the fresher tires than us though, so pitting every stint basically a lap later gave him a bit of an advantage here. And that is very, very impressive from the Croatian. He's a Croatian, I believe. So basically we have gone from being second in front of those 2 guys to being
struggling
fourth.
to keep up with Patel's pace. He's quite fast.
I think he's on the same strategy as us. Big gap behind, 5 seconds behind. Kuba's holding people up for us. Tire wear is about where I would expect it to be.
And now is where the struggles start to develop in this race. It is lap 38, we're getting towards the end, so to say. And I felt like the cars ahead were faster than me at this point. I'm gonna be honest, they were faster than me. So there was stuff to keep up.
This is lap 39 you're starting. We stop on 45. Car behind is still Kuba. Gap is 7 seconds. Journey is 16 seconds ahead of you guys. It's just you and Patel and Bruek.
I'm lacking pace a bit. Come on, need to up my game.
Yeah, and it didn't go well. Simply put again, I had to basically put so much effort into the lap times in order to get DRS. You can see that the rear wing is open, so I have DRS. But the effort I needed to put in to actually get DRS was massive. And the only reason I could keep up with the guys in front was because of this. If they were battling, I basically closed the gap a little bit and I would get DRS again. But if they were basically driving side by side the whole time, or not side by side, if they were basically driving behind each other the whole time, I wouldn't have been able to keep up.
I'm exhausted.
Lap 40, we're getting there, man. My hope is that the cars ahead don't pit on 45. I'm hoping they'll stay out till 46. We can maybe undercut someone. We have spare fuel, so on your out lap with the new set of mediums, I'm going to have you push, push, push.
Man, this is insane. 24 laps.
If I asked you to do 4 more laps right now, would you be able to?
Think no.
Okay. This is lap 44 now. We stop. Not this lap, next lap, next lap.
Yep, and there are your messages where I talked about before in the race. Starting to really struggle. I wouldn't really say that, but there was a big concentration loss at this stage of the race. It was very tough to concentrate. Why that is, I'll answer that question to the end of the video in the team radio. Because basically I cannot explain obviously to Justin right now what's exactly going on. I mean, I'm racing, but what is clear is that I really was a bit struggling at this stage. Lap 45 though.
Okay, 45, we've hit this lap. Maximum attack, full boosts, every zone, full boost. We want that gap to be as small as we can get it.
I'm trying, man, I'm trying.
I know.
And now we pit. So there we go into the pit lane. You saw me there going quite late into the pit lane. I was trying to have Patel stay out as well because this is good. Lap 45, we're the only car.
The out lap is going to be more important than the in lap, of course.
I will sleep very well tonight.
Same, and I'm not even driving. Full boost, maximum attack on this out lap. We can maybe undercut Patel. Daniel Kiss, P8. Jim Paris is P13.
Yes, and now we get a message as well. Because we are ahead of Hoyer? Ahead of Hoyer. Or that's Stefanko even. Excuse me, that is not Hoyer, that is Stefanko. Luckily ahead of him. And now, like Justin said, maximum boost. This is a lap where you do a lot of boost, trying to undercut at least Patel. Brilliak was so fast actually that he already made a gap to Patel at the end of the stint again. Patel was really struggling towards the end of his stints, and that was quite noticeable. And Brilliak seemed to be really under control at this stage of the race.
Boost after this left-hander, boost after the left-hander.
Yep, so it's basically boosting almost everywhere where there is a straight present, like here, in order to make that undercut work. And this was fun. This was really fun, to be honest. You're exhausted, the sweat is in your ears, in your eyes, in your nose, in your mouth, you name it. But you have to push it hard as you can. This was fun. This really was fun. Because at this stage I felt like we had nothing to lose anyway. I cannot give a shit now about the tire wear anymore. I mean, we have to do a lot of laps still on these tires for sure. 15 laps. And we will struggle towards the end of the race. Yes, that's for sure. Because we pitted quite early to get an undercut. But at least we can try. And you know, if we fail, the worst we can get is probably 4th place. Unless I bin it into the wall, then we'll get a DNF. But I have faith that won't happen. Crucially, Patel did not go into the pit lane in lap 45.
Patel's in the pits, Patel's in the pits.
And that's something I found quite interesting. And that perhaps gives us the opportunity to undercut him. Have we done it though successfully? Yes. There is Patel. And the undercut has worked. So that is very, very good to see. Very crucial. We have gained that place back.
Yes. We need 16 laps on this set of tires. 16 laps. We're going to the end. This is 47. Brilliak is still out. Brilliak is still out.
Calm down, this is not over yet. I'm way too tired.
Yeah, and Justin was being all hyped up there. Was clapping him up now, but I was just so pessimistic at this stage because I know I'm going to struggle at the end and perhaps they can get by again. But again, we try at least.
2.4 to the car behind, 2.4. Brilliak pits.
So I pushed maximum up until this point where Brilliak pits and we even undercut him. So 2nd place, 13 laps to go. Yeah.
Yes, he's on mediums. He will get DRS. He will get DRS. Okay, we only have enough fuel to boost that main straight until the end now.
Yeah, the problem was we used a little bit more boost in the beginning of the race, more than we would have liked. And look at the gap to Patel, by the way, that's quite a hefty gap. It is already close though in lap 52. We boosted quite a bit, also trying to make that undercut work. So I didn't have a lot of fuel to spare in order to defend now, and that's also why I was a little bit pessimistic when Justin was clapping and whatnot. I was like, yeah, I said to him, calm down, because despite us being in second, I didn't really see us finishing there. I really didn't. And lap 52, we can see it here. Brielk already goes for the inside, came from very far back. I tried to swing it around the outside. He'll have the inside line, and obviously he has the fresher tires. Bit of a slide, bit of contact even. And Patel also having wheel spin on the exit there. Right now in this stage of the race, I have pushed very hard on my outlap.
I have to let him go, I think.
Yeah, tire wear is a little lower than where I would like it to be.
Yeah, there we go. I pushed very hard on my outlap and like the 2 laps after that in order to make the undercut work on Brielk as well.
Not sure if I can keep in mind.
It's alright, we just need to make it to the end. Patel is not much of a threat in the championship, he's 65 points behind you.
I used a bit too much of my tire life, so to say, trying to make the undercut work. I was ahead of both of them, Patel and Brielk, but we already gave the position back to Brielk first. And look at this now, the tires are so worn. This battle here is basically a battle between 2 drivers, but also a battle whether you can actually keep it on track. And Patel in the end, yeah, got us. It is lap 60, so we were quite close to even getting a 3rd place, and that would have been maybe even more than the maximum. The maximum was simply a P4 after the stint where they went onto the medium and we were on the softs and we had all of that traffic. From that moment I really thought a P4 would be the maximum as we look at the beautiful slowway, and look how close. I really thought that I hit it, but apparently I didn't hit it, but it was a bit close. However, this has meant that we are back in P4.
I'm driving like a granny.
Okay, just fuel save now, unless you really think you can get him back. I know your tires are dead.
Let's play it smart.
Yeah, we just need like 0.2 of a liter, and we're fine. So Patel's the only one that will gain on you in the championship, and it's only 3 points. Paresis is P11, Kuba's P9, Kiss is P7. You're still ahead of your next 4 rivals.
Yeah, and this is good, because Paresis had a really off weekend. I think he even qualified outside of the top 10 or something like that. So Paris had a little bit of an off weekend, which is obviously good for us. It would be good, and obviously if you take up a win or something, or a top 3 at least, because then you gain a lot of points. But again, I really think P4 was the maximum, and we almost got more than the maximum even because of the undercut we did in lap 45. It has cost us though in the end, both because the tires were worn and because there wasn't really a lot of fuel left. At least that's what I thought, but coming over the line I still had 2 liters left, so Justin probably miscalculated or something a bit, because I could have used more boost in order to defend actually.
I'm dead. Poor.
If Mo does get a penalty...
It is protestable, I'm sure, but I don't know. I'll talk to the team, but see what they say.
Well, like I said, Mo is the only one. Daniel Kiss 7th. Paresis 10th. Brzezinski's engine blew, so he's only going to get 14th actually. It was looking like he might get 5th for a little while there. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, Simocic has won the race. I keep messing up Paresis and Simocic, but Simocic has won the race, and that is fantastic news, because I was his old teammate at Go Speed, and he's a very, very gentle person, so I'm happy for him. It's his first
Oh yeah, I've almost forgot. Congrats to this guy here, Simocic too.
Right?
I'm really glad for him, and also congrats to James. Very good job, very good patch.
Journey was a monster today.
Yeah, thanks a lot, but this was, you know as well, this was the absolute maximum, and we even tried with that undercut, so props to you. We tried.
6 seconds slower than our simulations. That's it. So even with all that traffic and battling and everything like that, you were only 6 seconds slower over the course of the whole race.
Kinda quite a bit, to be honest. I hope that we would be faster.
Yeah, I mean, if we did our sim with no traffic or anything like that, you still would have been 3rd.
Yeah, that doesn't count though. Yeah, but again, we tried, but this was the best. There was no pace on the medium, there was no pace. And really, there was nothing I could do. And then around lap 45, I just lost so much concentration. And
Yeah.
I really don't know why, I lost just so much concentration. And it was so hard to, like, my eyes would get blurry every time I had them open for 5 seconds. So I was blinking the whole time, and I don't like that at all.
I've had that happen.
It was
I've
annoying.
had that happen when I'm playing like Heroes of the Storm sometimes. Like if I play for too long, like I start like blinking really long. Like I'll have to blink for like a second.
Yeah, exactly. And then you
Right.
also have the sweat in your eyes coming, doesn't help.
Exactly.
Oh, fantastic. And very fair play to Brilliak, because what a strategy and what a drive from him, and also
Yeah,
from
that was-
Patel.
I
And
mean, he overcut us.
and yeah, but yeah, also because of traffic, I guess. But that's smart.
He had gone on to the mediums for the
Yeah, second.
or third stint. Yeah,
Yeah.
second stint. I do think that would have helped. I don't know how much it would have helped, but yeah, I kind of regret it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I thought it was the right call.
no, you can't do anything about it, can you? So better to focus on the next race and just let it go. But yeah, maybe it would have been a bit better.
Next race is Suzuka, which is one that you like, and which is one that you've already won in WC.
Good memories, first win.
Yeah.
And so a P4 it is. Again, I'm gonna say it one more time. We almost even got more than I thought was the maximum. I said in the team radio there too that we tried, and I think that it was the best we could do. However, there was not really a lot of pace on the prime tire compared to especially Brilliak, who was quite magical even in the final stint. He absolutely pulled away as soon as he got by us, but at the end of the stint I was more concentrated on trying to keep Patel behind than to lap quickly, of course. Also trying to look after the tires, which were already quite damaged at that point, to make the undercut work. But again, we tried it at least. That's the best you could do, and we almost made it work to even get a P3, so I'm really happy with that. Again, there was a bit more fuel remaining than we would have liked, because I could have used that fuel quite well actually to defend that third place from Patel, but that's always easy to say after the race, of course. Justin has done another good job, and he will be there next race too at Suzuka, which is one of my favorites. Suzuka is a fantastic track, and I'm looking forward to that one. Again, I've already driven it, so I know the results. I won't spoil it, don't worry. But I went into this weekend with a good vibe, I think. Despite the P4, which was not where I was really aiming for. Again, I was aiming for a podium. We extended the gap in the championship, and that is all because Paris was in P9, which is quite far down for him. Unfortunately though, Kuba blew his engine, and is obviously classified outside of the top 10, so he won't pick up any points for the constructors. And that does mean that that constructor story is becoming quite a bit of a more difficult story, because the buffer we have in the constructors is slowly disappearing after every race. So, I'm not really happy with that. However, I thought if we have a top 3 finish again at Suzuka, which is my target, then I think we're looking pretty positive for the Drivers' Championship at least. So if we can do that, then the story basically. Then it's looking very good for the Drivers' Championship. So coming into Suzuka, I hope to do well there, not only for Drivers' Championship, but mainly as well for the constructors. I would love to get that. However, Kuba hasn't scored here, of course, and constructors is usually a team effort, so it is a bit hard, obviously. However, I think I'm gonna end it here. It's been long enough. Again, apologies about the very long video, but there was a lot of action here, and in combination with that and the the longest race of the calendar, it gets also quite a long video. Thanks all for watching. Should have done a better job in qualifying, of course. Let's try to focus on that for Suzuka. And I want to thank everyone for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, I would very much appreciate a thumbs up. Have a very good day, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.